everybody. I don't know if we've talked about this before or not, but how do you feel about eggplant? Because I'm crazy about it. Tonight, I am making stuffed eggplant. Now, if eggplant isn't your thing, you could stuff peppers. You could stuff tomatoes or tomatoes, depending on what part of the North Atlantic you live on. But this is really yummy and really easy. I have 2 eggplants. I don't want to make a ton because I don't want us to eat this all week long. But I'm going to do 2 stuffed. So I've cut one in half. The other one I've got cut in cylinder or circles, and I've got a little olive oil on them, salt and peppered, and I'm gonna bake them for a half an hour. At the half-hour mark, I'm gonna flip them, or the 15-minute mark, I'm gonna flip them. At least these guys, and these guys I'm gonna check and see how they're doing. Here we go. In the oven they go. And while that is cooking away, I am gonna start the veg. I have, and this really is determined by 1, what you like, and 2, by what you want to stuff or what you're looking to, what you like really, right? So this is gonna have some, I'm cooking actually the inside of the eggplant that I carved out and then I, what do you call it, scraped out. I've got an onion, I've got some lean meat, and I've got some peppers, and that's what I'm gonna cook up. So let's see, it's almost ready. A little steamy, but that's okay. Here we go. Oh, a little early. That's too bad. Now, what I need to do there is I need to turn it up. I need to turn the heat up a little bit, and I need to move it around so that the oil doesn't soak in. I'm gonna move them over to the side where the oil isn't, so that the onions don't get just soaked in oil, right? So I've got that going. Here we go. It's getting hot, I can see that. Let me give a little salt and pepper. So yeah, so I'm just gonna get the stuffing together. Now, generally, you know the Dixons, we love mushrooms, but tonight, mushroom-free dish. I know, I have them, they're in the fridge, I could chop them up, but I think I'm just gonna leave them out. So I've got the onions, I've got 2 medium-sized onion, I've got some peppers, a red one and an orange one kind of cut finely, and I've got the inside of 1 medium-sized eggplant. And these guys, a little salt, I will give them some pepper. I'm gonna let these just kind of do their thing and cook down a little bit. Once it's kind of cooked down, I'm gonna add some turkey. I'm gonna add some marinara, and that's gonna be my stuffing. And I'm also gonna put in some oregano, but first I'm gonna get the vegetables down. So let's do that first, right? Okay, so the vegetables are totally cooking down. It's time to add some garlic, about 3 cloves, chopped really, really fine. And then we're gonna add the meat. Actually, I'm gonna let the garlic cook just long enough that I can smell it, but not long enough that it burns, right? Now you always want to put garlic in a little bit later than you do the other vegetables because you don't want it to burn. Okay, so that's going. Now, I have a couple of friends who do a similar recipe like this, but they do it with lamb. I have another friend who has a still my friend and she uses beef, but I am all about the turkey. So in it goes. Turkey, move it along, right? Garlic. I'm gonna go ahead and get it done. I'm also gonna add a little bit of oregano, about a tablespoon. And actually, I think I used all the oregano the other day, so I don't have any fresh. So I'm actually gonna just use 2 tablespoons of Italian herbs, which is mainly and I'm also gonna use some parsley. So that will give it some good flavor. And we probably should salt and pepper again. So that's good. Get all those seasons. You want to season as you layer, as you go through the cooking process so that it's all yummy and seasoned, and then you don't need salt and pepper at the table. I mean, it's nice to have it because it welcomes your guest, but trying to think of Mr. Penny of J.C. Penney, which to me sounds like Jesus's rap name, right? J.C. Penney. Anyway, he would, when he was going to interview someone for a job, he would take them with him to their cafeteria and have a meal. And if they salted their food before they had tasted it, he wouldn't hire them because he figured they didn't know what they were getting into and they were already willing to act. And he wanted people who knew what they were getting into and then would act. So I think that's really interesting, right? Okay, we're almost, oh my gosh. This smells so good. So yummy. It almost smells like stuffing, which is a different episode. That's gonna be the first parter. I'll do stuffing first, and then I'll do a roast chicken, and then we'll have, yummy dinner. But now that I've got this going, I've got a cup of red wine, and in that goes in. And then I'm gonna put the marinara in as well. And this is just a marinara that I had made a while back, and smells like my grandmother's cooking, that I had in the freezer because I had frozen it because I'd made too much. And that's something I'm working on. I don't really know how to feed the 2 of us. I only know how to feed like an army. Oh, that is gonna leave a mark, but that's okay. That's why I'm wearing an apron, and you can always shout it out, right? That's okay. Really pure moment of self-control that I didn't go in to the old camp song, shout it out, shout it out. You'll thank me later. So there we go. We've got the marinara, we've got parsley, we've got salt and pepper, we've got the wine, and now this is just gonna cook while the eggplants are finishing in the oven. Tune in. Okay, so this is bubbling, and really what we're doing is making a cheater's bolognese, right? Because bolognese is something that just is like a 3-4 hour sauce. The longer you cook it, the better. We're really cooking this and getting as much moisture out as possible, so it's just gonna keep bubbling and going. But I need to get onto my cheese topping. So I've got 16 ounces of ricotta cheese, which is a good amount of ricotta cheese. But that's okay. So that's good. Also gonna put some goat cheese in. Come on, goat cheese. Come on. Come on, come on, come on. Here we go. And this is a great topper. It's gonna be really yummy on the eggplant. I've already flipped the eggplant and that's all ready. Here we go. Goat cheese in with ricotta. Gonna kind of smash that down a little bit. I've got them at room temperature so they're easier to work with. Now, I'm also gonna put 2 egg yolks in, 2 extra large yolks, and I will use the egg white for tomorrow's omelet because I'm also gonna do an egg bake, which is kind of our normal breakfast of the week. Another egg yolk goes in, another egg goes in the sink. That's all good. Sauce wants a little attention. Every time it bubbles, just kind of give it a stir. You don't want it to burn, but you don't want to cover it because you want that moisture to soak up out of it. If you wanted to put rice in with your filling as well, when I do stuffed peppers or I do stuffed tomatoes very often, I put rice in my stuffing, but not today. Today I'm just hoping to get as much liquid out as I can, and it'll go. Okay, I've also got some Marinara cheese that I'm gonna grate in there as well. I want as many layers of flavor. This has got a little bit more of a sharp flavor to go with. The other two is kind of soft and yummy, right? No. Okay. Yeah, that's good. That's a good amount. We'll take that. We're gonna do excellent. Little tiny edge off. Off it goes. That's fine. I'm gonna do a couple of shakes of cinnamon. Nutmeg is good as well, especially with the ricotta. It gives it a really nice flavor. Do a little salt and pepper. So what I'm gonna end up doing is pouring this, once it's reduced down a little bit more, into the eggplants. And then I'm gonna top it with the ricotta and goat cheese and mozzarella. So this is gonna be yummy. But we need to get these cheeses and the yolk mixed together. Yeah. Now this is the hard part, and it depends on where you kind of sit in the world of raw eggs. But this looks and smells so yummy. I'm so tempted to taste it. But I'm not going to. I'm gonna just let it be. Mixed together. Get in there together, all mixed. A little sharp, a little soft, a little tangy from the goat cheese. How do you feel about goat cheese? Some people hate it. I am a lover of goat cheese. Okay, that is well mixed. That is ready for our eggplants, and our eggplants have about another 10 minutes. It's about a half an hour altogether for the eggplants. And depending on how high you can keep your sauce to get it reduced, this can be a half an hour process. And then you're gonna take another half an hour. It's about an hour altogether in terms of prepping the sauce, in terms of stuffing it, in terms of baking it again. So hold on, it's coming. Okay, so we're at a really good place. And I don't know if I had explained this to you, but we're doing a couple of things because, well, I didn't think we would actually use, I was trying to kind of get ahead of myself, and I knew that we wouldn't eat 2 whole eggplants in one night or in a couple of days, right? So what I've done is basically I've made enough to make 4 eggplants, but I've only cooked 2. And so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make basically an eggplant lasagna with the stuffing and with the ricotta, along with stuffing my eggplant. So tonight's dinner is going to be stuffed eggplant for us. And I will freeze this dish here. Oh, I got a little ahead of myself. Let's get some ricotta in there, right? So I've got a layer of sauce, layer of eggplant, layer of ricotta. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put a little more sauce on top. Then I'm gonna do another layer of eggplant, another layer of cheese, and then I'm gonna freeze it. And with that, then we will have probably pasta with this, but I'm not baking the pasta because I don't know, some people are fine with baked pasta. I don't always feel like, I feel like it kind of gets extra watery afterwards. So everybody has this stuff that they won't freeze. I'm wondering if you have anything that you don't want to freeze. I'm gonna leave these last couple of bites of eggplant just for us to eat. Because honestly, friends, I can't eat enough eggplant. So this is really reduced down. It could reduce more, actually. If it was a true Bolognese, which it is not, this is a cheater Bolognese, I would, I mean, the alcohol is burned out by now. It's been bubbling for a good amount of time. I've been cooking for 40 minutes. Honestly, the longer you cook it, the better it's gonna taste. And I am gonna let it, we'll see how much I have left. And then I'll freeze that, and then I'll use it for other things. Or I'll just pop it out of the fridge and add it some night to some pasta, and we'll call that good. Okay, so a little bit more cheese kind of on the top of this. And we'll call that good. Doesn't need a ton of cheese because it's already got cheese in there, right? This is a cheesy dish. This would be a great dish if you were coming for dinner. How fun would that be? Come over for dinner. Okay, that's that. We're gonna set that off to the side, let that chill for a while. I need to bring the temperature down before I put it into the freezer. Here we have our 2 eggplants. I need to reposition my camera a little bit so you can see that. Here we go, right? 2 eggplants. And I'm gonna stuff them. And they're gonna be good. Here we go. And it goes. And honestly, we're probably gonna split one of these because this is a lot of food. We'll have a really big salad with this. And we will eat our eggplant, turkey stuffed eggplants stuffed with eggplant and peppers and eggplant. Oh my gosh. Peyton had a stuffed eggplant, and maybe I've told you this, at the Culinary Institute up in Hudson Valley. And I mean, I'm still always trying to make that again. It was so good. I think I might have had duck or something that night, thinking that I don't usually cook duck, so why not eat that? But I gotta tell you, his was so good. I had complete buyer's remorse because I wished the whole time I'd had the eggplant. I very often order eggplant when we're out because it's so good. Okay, here's where this comes. Right on top, just like this. Okay, I'm just gonna bake this. Everything's cooked, well, the egg's not cooked, right? So I need to bake this until this is brown, till the cheese is really kind of crusty. And I will let you see what that looks like. Here we go. Okay, those are pretty beautiful. Okay, oh, it's spilling over, darn it. I pushed the envelope too far, like a burrito. Sometimes you just get a little too far and a little overstuffed. Okay, parsley on top, right? Okay. And honestly, if it makes a mess, who cares? It's gonna be good. Now I've cut off my head, but I think it's worth it. Look at that. That's a good looking eggplant. Okay, I'm gonna wrap my cheese, take my little baby bites off. It's the chef's service, chef's portion. Okay, what do you think? In they go. Okay, here we are. They are not perfect. They definitely did not stay in their lane, but it looks really good. And I really want to taste the cheese. Actually, there's some sauce in there too, but I want to taste it. So I've got a whole pan here. You can see our salads. Thanks, Joyce McKeegan Walker. Oh my goodness. Ooh, that is yummy. Okay, friends, stuffed eggplant that didn't want to keep it together. But you know, there's a lot of days when we don't want to keep it together, but we're still good, right? Okay, what do you like to stuff? What do you like to cook up? What you doing? How do you feel about eggplant? Talk to me, friends. Love you.